Carter Price here from the KSBJ Morning Show with Mikado Hinson, which I'm not going to get the official title right, I'm sure, but you're the chaplain of the Houston Texans.
Correct, yeah.
And you talked about, you're pretty new on the job, earning trust with the players. You don't just sit in an office and wait for them to come to you.
Or I'd be sitting all day. I mean, they're moving and shaking all throughout the building. And so my job really consists of me meeting them where they are. Training room, they're getting treatment. It's a really captive audience there because they can't go anywhere. In the weight room, just, encouraging them on the practice field, but then also on game days. And so I need to be where they are. It's not a come see, it's a go tell.
What do you do when you're in the weight room and on the field, especially training camp? Are you running sprints with them? Are you lifting with them? Are you
not unless they need a good laugh. No, I'm helping shag balls and just encourage guys, stuff like that. After practice, they do jugs machine work and things like that. It's just a great time to talk to guys when they're cooling down and just doing some final stretches and things like that. But in the weight room, I may pick up a dumbbell or something like that and get a set in with them.
Sure.
Just let them know that, man, I'm 49, but I can still lift a little something. I'm not doing what you do, but no, it's just always there just to encourage them and just see how they're doing. It's really blown my mind how much they're willing to engage once trust is established, and a lot of that trust is just being present.
What is your goal? I mean, you're hired by the Texans, I mean, it's pretty, they've kind of set the parameters, I'm sure, to some degree. You're a believer. What are you allowed to say? What is your goal? What is your mission as this role? What do you, especially individually, what do you hope to accomplish?
I just want to love people. That's been my goal my entire career in this field. Is just meeting people right where they are, not judging them, things like that, but just helping them maximize all their God-given talents and abilities, but also help them off the field, in their relationships and just, as they're navigating through life. It's always better because we're made for community. It's always better when you can do it together. And so all I'm doing is really walking out what God's called me to do. And I tell people, you don't apologize for who you are. I won't apologize for who I am. And I bet we can do life together.
I would think pretty receptive to that. You may have some guys shy away from faith or some of those conversations, but especially you've done this through college. Now you're in the pros. Do you just kind of see yourself as that wise counsel to, I'm sure some of these guys are 20, 21 years old.
Yeah. And, I've had some amazing people pour into my life to show me how to do this type of ministry. This ministry it's pretty unique because you do have to earn the trust. You're not standing there, and it's always more of a dialogue, not a monologue. So it's not me preaching a sermon at them. I'm trying to live that sermon.
Yeah,
I'm trying to live out and be exactly who God called me to be. And at the end of the day, I have found out that just being genuine and authentic, it is attractive. It is attractive, and once again, like I said earlier, once you can establish trust, then guys will open up. Guys will open up and they'll want to talk. But I have to be willing to be transparent. I have to be willing to be vulnerable and to be able to share with those guys to let them know that I'm not trying to just gather information from them to run and tell anyone, but that it's safe with me. And if it is something that needs to be communicated to other people, then I will let them know that before it's communicated.
Sure.
And so at the end of the day, this role is unique and it is challenging, because you're hearing a lot of challenges that people are going through.
Yeah.
But what I have found out now in season 25 in this space is that people want someone who's going to listen, kind of like the KSBJ, God listens.
God listens, that's right.
I want to be his representative of listening to them that they can talk to and just do life together with every day.
Man, love that.
Yeah.
Without obviously prying too much, is there a story that you could share without names and details of just how you saw God move? Of you were in this position and you're like, this is why I do it, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can just be more of a blanket statement. When people are going through any type of grieving, any type of struggle, a loss of a loved one. My mentor always used to say, you throw a drowning man an anchor and they're going to swim to it because people want something to hold on to. And so when people are going through life and life hits and a lot of times it's unexpected, you didn't plan on it, it just happens. And they want people they can trust, people that they know love them with a genuine love. that they can just cling to, not deifying, not putting in a place of God, but someone who's going to provide comfort and hope and things like that. So I could go all the way across the board. When I was at Texas A&M, we had a young man whose father passed away, and he was trying to reconcile that relationship. And I flew to the funeral. He didn't know I was going to show up, but I had cleared it with Coach and everyone who needed to know, and they said, we think that'd be great. Flew to the funeral and just sat in the back of the church. Still hadn't communicated to the young man that I was going to be there or that I was there. And he turns around right before the service starts and just kind of looks in the back, and he sees me, and he sprints. He's in the NFL now. He sprints back like he's sacking the quarterback. I mean, it was crazy, and just hugged me and said, you showed up. And I said, I told you, man, this isn't just to cheer you on in life, man, but when you're going through those dark times, we need people who are going to walk with us. And he told me when he got back to College Station, he said, you're good with me forever, bro. And a month later, his grandmother died.
Oh, my gosh.
Just world spinning. And I was texting him, and he wasn't responding. After the funeral, he comes to my office and said, I owe you an apology. I said, for what? He said, I knew you'd show up again. And he's like, I told you you're good with me forever. And I didn't go to that funeral. But people are there, you know, obviously, whether it be Kyle Field or wherever it is, NRG, there are thousands, tens of thousands, 100,000 people showing up to cheer you on. But it gets real quiet when life's happening.
Wow.
And the crowd doesn't show up there. But you need people. I tell them, I love you. I'm not your fan, because fan is short for fanatic. But whether things are going great or things are going bad, I'm here for you. And those are some of the instances and things, you know, that I've been fortunate to be able to see. And the beautiful thing is, because of relationship, it starts to reciprocate. So
they're there for you too.
That's right.
Presence seems like that's one of the biggest things about, you know, if you're present, even just throughout the week on a regular occurrence, that's a huge deal.
Yeah, there's a lot of times, even during games, I won't say a word. I'll just walk up and pat a guy on the shoulder pads. Just let him know, you're good, and I'm right here, and I'm praying for you. But, you know, without saying a word. I've had guys before, you know, get mad on the sideline, ball up their fists, and I'll walk by, and without saying a word, without looking at them, I'll just unball their fists and just keep walking. That's a little risky.
Sure.
But I'm definitely confident in who I am. So just go and ball, and then I'll turn around, look, and they'll just kind of nod like, I got it. Because I know that usually that takes you to a place that's going to hurt you, could hurt the team, whatever it might be. And it's like, okay, so what? It happened. Now what? How are you going to respond? And so literally I'm whispering to guys, so what, now what? What now what?
It's such a fascinating role for you, because football is such a, and sports in general, you know, an analogy of life often, but you're literally dealing with the on the field of like injuries, but then the real life off the field. And so it's just, I don't know, it's just like you're there in both kinds of moments. I'm curious how it's different. You know, you've done this at U of H, you've done it at high school too, FCA in high school, U of H, A&M. What's the difference in being that for college students and being that for a professional organization where some of these guys are well into their 30s even?
Yeah, a lot of them are married with kids. That's what I'm finding out. On the front end of when I became a chaplain, I was 24 years old. And so you had seniors on the team who were 22, right? And so there wasn't a huge age gap. And I was like, brother, well, I'm 49 now. And now I'm like dad to a lot of these young guys, a father figure, rather, to a lot of these young guys. And to the older ones, I'm like, I know what it's like to be married. I know what it's like to have kids. I know what it's like to have those some blessings and stressors all at the same time. And so working with college kids, I've promised parents that I was going to take care of their sons. I've let them know, look, you're handing your most prized possession in your child to us. And I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak when they are under my care. I'm promising you that it may not be all smooth sailing. But I promise you that I'm going to take care of your son. And hopefully, when we return them to you, or when you see them as they go through their college experience, you're going to see the growth in them, not just physically in their muscles because they go in the weight room, but hopefully emotionally, mentally, spiritually, hopefully you see a change. Now, in the professional level, this is a job for them. They're going to work and they're going home or, you know, whatever. And We have rookies who are 23, 22, 23. We have older guys who've been in the league 10, 12, 15 years. And so it's just a different dynamic. But I think through these 24, now 25 seasons, it has trained me for moments like this, because at the end of the day, problems are problems, issues are issues, and people are people.
Yeah.
And so they just come in, just you attack it a little bit different. But at the end of the day, the underlying factor is you love people through and don't judge them, you know. And again, like I said earlier, be willing to be transparent and open up. And now it becomes a real relationship where we're doing life together. So that's kind of how I attack it.
What would be, you talked about the fan thing. We're fans. We don't really know these guys. We claim them when they play for our team, right? But what are the challenges when we watch on Sunday and we're like, yeah, that was a hard play, but you get paid all this money and all this stuff. What are the challenges that we don't know?
Yeah.
The day-to-day. I don't even know what the schedule's like. I know typically the off day is Monday, there's film, there's practice, there's all of that. I don't know how much of a grind that is in the season, or training camp's harder. What are the challenges that we as a fan don't realize?
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the season, and whether it was in college going into, conference championships, that part of the season, no one's 100%. Everyone's playing with something. Like, there are nicks and bruises and aches and pains that these guys go through. The time, if someone sat in a meeting and just listened to plays, my mind's, that's a different language for me.
Yeah.
Right? And they're having to process really fast at a very elite level. And they're supposed to understand this, and they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're also saying, man, my leg's hurting. Man, I got to go to training right after this. The detail of the schedule is so to the minute. And these guys, they think, well, you go to practice, you go home, you do your training, whatever, you show up for the game, and it's all glamour. It is really challenging.
Yeah.
And but they signed up for it. They're very talented and gifted to be able to handle that. And they have amazing, I will say with the Texans, there's amazing front office, just from the owners to the GM to the head coach to the staff. Amazing people that help our guys navigate through any challenge or any situation that they go through. But it is a real, real challenge. Training camp is supposed to be a grind. It's supposed to be a grind. I mean, you're helping to just really just to callous your hands, so to speak, and just be used to the high speed and all that stuff. But then you get through the season and it's like, okay, my body's my business. I've got to make sure I'm doing my recovery. I got to make sure that I'm going to see the trainer. I make sure that my nutrition, all of that stuff is detailed and planned out. But again, there are amazing people on our staff that are helping them walk through and navigate through all of that stuff. So what people see a finished product coming out onto the field, but there's a whole lot of work and a lot of hours that go into resetting, getting ready for that next week after week after week. And it's a challenge, but it's a great joy. I mean, I see our guys, I don't see anyone complaining about it. I see our guys embracing it, and it's been fun to watch. And it's been fun to watch the veteran players, take some of the younger players underneath their wing and to teach them how to be a pro.
Yeah.
Because it is different.
Yeah.
I mean, we still had, a handful of games left, and I'm used to the college year, like, oh, season's almost over. And they're like, kind of. I mean,
got 5 or 6 more.
That's right. And playoffs and things like that. So it is a long, arduous grind, but it is beautiful.
Well,
and it is amazing to be a part of.
It seems like a great organization. It seems like we got some great character guys and great coaches. Lastly, I'll just ask you this. What have they meant to you in this first season? As you've done this a long time, but not with this organization, not at the professional level, professional football sense. Yeah. What has this season meant to you? What have those guys meant to you?
Yeah, from the players to the coaching staff to the people I get to work with every day and coworkers, we have some amazing character people, and it just shows that from the McNairs to Nick Casario to D'Amico, just the filter that they put through as far as bringing people on board, people who are like-minded, people who are going to work hard, people who care about people. I mean, it is unbelievable. I don't have anything else in the league to measure it against. So I feel kind of like I'm living a charmed life because I'm like, man, God, you allowed me to come into this organization. This organization is first class. They are amazing. I don't have anything else to measure it against, right? But every single day, I've felt so blessed and so fortunate to be able to walk in. D'Amico's the same every day. Now, he's a competitor, and he loves the guys, and he pushes them, and he challenges them, and he builds them up, and all those things. I love watching his leadership. I love watching just the meticulous detail of how he communicates with his staff, how he communicates with the players, how he starts every meeting with a big smile and ends every meeting with a smile. I mean, just things like that I'm adding to my own toolbox.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been amazing. I've worked with some amazing, I've lived a charmed life now.
Sure.
And I've worked with some amazing people throughout my journey. I could just start naming the different people that I've worked with and served alongside, whether they be former athletes or current athletes or staffs that I've worked with. But I'm telling you, the Texans organization is unbelievable. They represent the city well. They love the people of the city. They love the people in the building. And it's been a tremendous joy and honor to be just a piece of that. I'm a piece of the puzzle.
Sure.
But it's an honor and a pleasure to be able to be a piece.
You said they work hard, they love people, and that sounds like Houston, man. We're so glad to have them and have you.
No question. Well, it's an honor, man. It's an honor to be a part. It's an honor to represent this city, one that I've called home since 1998. With a little 10-year stint up in College Station, which was a joy.
It's Southeast Texas. We'll claim it.
Ain't no doubt. KSBJ even reaches to the outskirts, right?
That's right, yeah.
And so, but no, it's been a joy to be able to serve in the city, and it's been an amazing place to call home.